Let's see if it's lit up today. I don't hear anything. Well, let's see if there it goes. I wasn't talking. Okay, we're all set. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA. We're going to be talking about, we're going to talk more about neural net marketing, neurological, biological factors in your brain that help you write better copy from Summer Gould. Anyway, and a bunch of other things. So let's get to it. But the Super Bowl's coming up, and there aren't enough days for the best Super Bowl commercials of all time. So let's dig in and see what we can find. And here we go. Let's see if it works. Oh, we got to hit the play button. Oh.
Mike, come on! Mike, what is your deal, man?
Oh, come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby!
Whoa.
Eat a Snickers. Better?
Better. Hey! How about
Ah!
That hurt.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Sorry, I hope I made your day. I forgot the ending. You know, I just remembered Betty White. Oh, that is a good one. Oh, what a great commercial. Anyway, let's get over to the news. Sorry, people say, well, what does it take to do live streaming every day? And I say, well, it's just have to not care what people say and laugh at your own jokes in a dark, empty room. Okay, this was an interesting article, I thought. I didn't know that Ford had mobile service, and they, dealers can participate if they want to. It's voluntary, and they can set the range that they would go around, and they can do routine maintenance. They can do oil changes. They can do if there's recalls, something like that. And they also have a pickup and delivery service. They'll come to where your home or where you work. Part of the reason I like having my motorcycle is I can drop my car off at the shop and then ride the motorcycle for a couple of days while they're working on it. It's not working so well right today because we got a couple inches of snow, and I don't usually do that. But according to J.D. Power surveys, customers who use remote experiences for vehicle repair are more likely to recommend their brand to a friend and family member. Wow. So they actually can measure that somehow or other. I'm not sure how. But, there were rumors back when I was starting in marketing that some automakers found out in research that a customer who's had a problem with their new car and then got it fixed well actually was more loyal to the brand than someone who had no problems at all. And so, Summer, you should think about that one. I'd like to know whether that one has a name, because you have always keep coming up with these clever names of neurological stuff going on that scientists have discovered. So that's one I'd like to know. If it's better to have bad service and then fix it, or is it better to have good service all the way consistently? I know that my friend John Worth at Woodworker Supply actually tested the thank you card. He put it in even and odd zips. I forget which one, either the even or the odd, so he could tell later. He could look over several months of putting them in only the even zips, I think, and see if they had a higher average order size because of the thank you note. And he did prove that it was worth it. So anyway, I don't know that the car makers actually did that, but it was a rumor, urban legend. Okay, here's something. Mike Gunderson's come up with a new thing. It's called Post Reminder. And from looking it over, it seems as though he shows it on a mobile phone, but that's the landing page, what I can gather. And he's actually gone through it with me. But that was a while ago when he was just coming up with it. Post Reminder allows customers to easily set reminders for upcoming sales and events, no matter where they see the ad. And post reminder allows brands to stay top of mind and drive consumer action for days, weeks, or even months without ongoing ad spend. It also gets you postal discounts. The way it works, get over here and see the way it works. They have an enhanced QR code. It looks like it's mainly geared toward offline advertising. So they got a TV commercial, they got a table tent stand, they've got a direct mail piece, and then you click that you click that QR code with your phone, and it brings up a landing page and says, the sale is going to go on in the next week. Would you like a reminder? And then people do that. So it may apply to these industries. And the question I always have, sorry, but this is the question I always have whenever I see these new announcements. Where have you tested it? Did it have incremental lift? Okay, so on a mailing piece, if you had just a QR code, I'm going to describe the test I'd like you to run. If you had just a QR code that took you to the page of the item or of the special 25% off or whatever the heck the offer is going to be, how did the sales for that compare to the sales with the reminder, where I have to basically let you connect to my phone, which I'm not sure I want to do, right? Is there privacy concerns all of a sudden because you're on the phone? I don't know. All of those are questions, but what would the incremental lift be of using this system? That's the question that we always want answered, including today. So Mike is a pretty good friend. I'm pretty sure he'll come back with that and at least tell me that he's in the process of testing it. I hope so. Here's something I mentioned the other day. Sarah Fletcher has this thing called Stylaquin, and I love this little infogram thing that said, do you need Stylaquin? And I'm not going to tell you what it is because it's a little hard to show. And she's agreed to come on the show, and we'll do a little thing with slides or with a video or something that's very easy to read. But this one is a little hard to read. So I say, do you need Stylaquin? This is for Shopify customers who have the boring, here's an item, here's some copy, do you want it or not? And here's some details maybe. That most e-commerce sites are horrible at portraying the products. I need to go on Land's End and see if it's as horrible as every other e-commerce, because Dan, who does their creative, he does such a fantastic job on the catalog. And so I do need a couple more turtlenecks and fleeces. Yes, I know they look almost the same every day, but I do get new ones every year. So, although I could use a Valentine's special, Dan, if you have one. So anyway, does your customer like to shop? Here's the first question. Yes. Are your customers mostly women? Yes. You need Stylaquin. I love that. Are they mostly women? No. Do they like to browse? Like fishermen in the Cabela's catalog or the Bass Pro, which is also another incredibly great creative experience. Much fun. Great hierarchy, visual hierarchy. Do they like to browse? If they say no, would they like to put together outfits and compare all the things that interest them in one place? Maybe fishing lures would go like that. If they like to browse, then it's a yes. And if they like to put it all together, then it's still a yes. Okay, would they like shopping if it were faster and more fun? If it's a yes, then they need that. If they're not sure, it's a no. Or it's this last question. And if they don't like to shop and they don't want it faster and more fun, then you don't need Stylaquin. That's me. I go on eBay, and in a couple of minutes, sometimes I spend more than a minute, but I usually know exactly what I want. And it's usually something like, this jump drive. This is a 2 terabyte jump drive. I don't think it really works. I haven't figured it out, but it kind of works. Okay. Anyway, so that's an overview of Stylaquin, and Sarah's going to explain it to us. Okay, now finally, how information gap theory and authority principle can increase direct mail response, and probably anything else. Okay. Last time we talked, yesterday, we talked about autonomy bias and consistency, and that is about wanting to make choices. And once you get started saying yes to little choices, you tend to want to make a yes to the conclusion. Okay. Information gap theory prompts people to take action through curiosity and a need to know. One of my big needs in my life. I'm always curious, which is why I enjoy preparing for the show, where I read hundreds of titles a day to find something that you might be interested in. Okay? Here's something I didn't know. When people satisfy their curiosity, their brain center, reward center, is activated. You know, the devil prompted Eve and said, you will have the knowledge of good and evil. Good, huh? So that's what she got. She got the reward center activated. Okay, but you got to provide what you promised. You know, I every now and then get sucked into, you know, this is what they looked like then. What do they look like now? You know, with some like Valerie Bertinelli was a crush when I was in about 7th grade. And you go through 40 or 50 pictures of before or then and now, and you never get to Valerie Bertinelli. So you've kind of cured me from that curiosity. They don't even give you what they promised. Okay. The word new, this should have been in bold and in parentheses or in quotation marks and bold and all caps. The word new immediately lets someone know that they need more information. Right? Like the new post reminder product or the new Stylaquin product. You want more information? Stick with us. We will get it for you. Right? Start headlines with who, what, when, where, or how. And Bob Hatch. There, I got it. I haven't talked to him in years, but Bob Hatch used to be on the board of ISSM. And I think he's pretty much retired now. But Bob told me one of his tested secrets about this category of product. He said, you know, everybody wants to say, learn about this new thing, you know. And he said, it brings back memories of school and homework and exams and maybe bullying. When you were called, you know, Tubby or something. Guess who? Anyway, so he said instead of learn, the word discover has this adventure sound to it. So don't ever use the word learn in your headline. Use the word discover, because then it brings about, you know, that you can acquire this with ease and stumbled upon, and now you'll have more information. There's a free tip, not in this article. Summer, you can also chime in, of course. Using negative words work better. Here this is good. Studies have found. I thought it would be in some of these articles. There was one that I set aside for tomorrow that did have it in it, but there it is. And guess what that brings us to? Studies have found. I see that so often. Let's look at the authority principle. People are conditioned to respect and respond to authority. And so you can have your authority figure does not have to be a household name. It can be images that imply authority, like put on a white coat. I have one hanging in the back that I use every now and then, mostly on Halloween. Important titles, publications, awards, certifications that establish you as an expert. And everybody uses, here we go, let's go back to it. Studies have found. And I don't mean to tease Summer, but I have to a little bit because she's doing the hard work and I'm just breezing through this thing. But that is the authority principle. Why question it? Studies have found that I'd rather have some test results, Summer, You know, that's the way it is. But now another article's coming out. We've done them in a row. So we have kind of and I've tagged her in the headline. So we have kind of a mini seminar. And maybe you should do that. Maybe you should do a webinar or something on these emotional things and using human behaviors, recognized human behaviors. Well, anyway, like and share. Your friends will know you're smart. We're working on the podcast thing, and I've just been beating on these support people. It's starting to work again, but I'm missing 300 of them or so in the middle. Since June of 2021 are missing. They're on the site, but I want to get them on Shopify or Amazon or some other places, Google, that you might go. So have a great day. Share. Your friends will know you're smart.